much progress in my body that I I have not had pain from day one. I started with V6 and with touch. It's been incredible. I come into Texas. I don't know. I re-injured my tailbone, and they told me I had to have an operation. I denied it, and now with the touch, it has gone away. I can sleep on a straight bed, and I'm just tickled pink because I hadn't slept in a bed since I was 26, and that's a very, very, very long time since I'm 71 now. So, but and two, being change with my nutrition. I was eating whatever I wanted, and Mexican food is my thing, and I just got to the point where I needed to change, and I did. I changed my weight, and with a touch, I have lost a lot of inches. I'm back down to what my original size was. And last week, I had mentioned that my brother and my sister-in-law took me to a Mexican restaurant, and I had thinking that it wasn't going to harm me. I had tortilla soup. Well, don't believe that because I don't know what was in there. Yeah, I was bloated. I was all swollen, my legs, my feet, my hands, everything. And I was so miserable. I was bloated. And finally, I did the touch that night. And by the next morning, it was all gone. And of course, with a Valentine's coming up, they decided to give me some sugar. And I haven't had sugar since I quit taking anything. Since I have stopped, I've had nothing but honey for sweet. Well, I they gave me some um cinnamon with sugar, gummy bears or whatever, my nieces, and I ate four of them. Well, I started cramping that night. I was literally up all night. And the next morning at 4 o'clock, I got up and I just could not walk. So I did the touch and I did it for the 17 minutes. And within half an hour, the cramping was gone. So that touch is wonderful. It has helped me tremendously. I am very happy. I can't wait to continue with all the studies, and it's just wonderful.
V6, V9 have all helped. I've had a lot of inflammatory situations, but my lower back has really been bothering me. So the touch has helped quite a bit, but I keep having to use it, but it is getting so the pain's less and I'm going longer period of time before it's really starting to really bug me. So I use the touch, 17 minutes, and I close the app out, I go back in and I use it for whatever the other time is, maybe 13 minutes or something. I do it twice a day, and my back is finally starting to get to the place where I can bend over again. But I was diagnosed with degenerative disc disease, and it's kind of like, you're kind of like a car crash. There's so many things going on that the thing that's the loudest is the thing you're more aware of. And when those things start to go away, then your body starts letting you know all the other kinds of aches and pains you have. So, my joints, my knees were the worst with the osteoarthritis. That was absolutely the biggie. But that's pretty much gone. I'm climbing and I'm on ladders and stuff. But the back's let me know that's still an issue. But the touch is really helping.
I had breast cancer about 8 years ago and cured it myself through natural means, but the lump never went away. And I'm not going to do surgery to try to remove something that is not a cancer. So I have been working with it with the touch and finally came up with a combination that works. 2 days ago, I decided to actually put my phone on the breast itself. It went down about 1/3. And then I do 2 sessions a day, full time. And if I can get it to come up again, I do, and do a second one right after the first, but it doesn't always work. And I use all of the meditations that have the HHS and other people, and particularly on the ones that use the touch. overall, I'm 80 years old, and overall, I'm really doing very well all the way around, whether it's inflammation. I split wood and hauled wood yesterday. I am getting success with the lump in my breast, and I'm really, really happy with that. I've had 2 times that I've done that. I didn't get on this morning, but it is getting smaller. Let's put it that way. I have had inflammation problems most of my life because I was not aware that I was eating all of the wrong foods. I was raised on every kind of food imaginable, and some of them I should not have been eating as a type A, like steaks, for example. Um, Other things, I've had so many injuries over my life that some of them just keep reminding me, and I've done some pretty serious things. I tore all the ligaments in my ankle. I am no longer limping. And this is true with not only the touch, but also with the V6 that I had was a really big help for that. I am not having any problems with that anymore. And just various things I've done to myself. So at 80, I think I'm doing much better than I was at 60. So hang in there, folks. It does work. It really, really does work.
I started using the touch on December the 6th. And I immediately had some surprises. I have been working on since the fall of trying to reduce my blood pressure medicine. And so I was taking it every 2 or 3 days and just maintaining, not getting real high numbers. The only number that I've ever had to worry about was the top number. The bottom numbers seemed to be working just fine. And so I stopped taking all blood pressure medicine on January the 6th, 30 days later, and I've still not taken any. So we've been 30 days now with no blood pressure medicine, and my blood pressure is normally in the low 140s down to the 125. And so I'm happy. So I'm totally off the drugs, and I'm happy.
I know that in the beginning, they were saying not to use other devices. I only have a V6, but not to use that together with it. And then later on, and I was using the touch by itself, and sometimes it was really kind of made me sort of jittery. But for my own gain using the touch, I've noticed that my hair, we were talking about that in one of the other mornings, but I also noticed my hair has also gotten thicker. Other than that, I have just noticed a really better energy level and better attitude about everything. It seems like it's just kind of permeated my whole self, just to notice things in a more beautiful way.
I kind of have a little list of things. What I have found is that my digestion has improved. Sometimes I didn't know, like you with the gluten, I never knew what it was going to be. And I don't have those episodes like all the time now. So that's wonderful. Protein. I knew I needed to increase protein because of my my teeth are so, I don't have a lot of them. And so I found the pressure cooker. So now I can eat beef. And I've been purchasing, the grass-fed beef and making dishes, putting it in there because it makes it easier to eat. And my husband also has some teeth problems, so he's very happy too. So my vision is better. I've noticed that, it's just more clear when I get in the car, and I love, it's great. My energy is better because I'm sleeping so deeply that, I wake up and I feel great and I last all day long. So I love that. My lung capacity. I remember I would avoid stairs because I think, oh, it's gonna be so much work to get back up. You know, I just bound down the stairs and back up, and I don't feel that in my lungs. Like my heart rate doesn't change. And some of you know I have horses, and sometimes I have to go out way out on the top of a hill to get one of them. And we walk back, and I'm not out of breath. So it's really wonderful. So I know that my lungs have healed.
I was on a medication that my cardiologist prescribed to throw out the fats. So recently I've stopped it in the last month, and the side ache has totally gone away. And my bowel movements are totally normal. So that's a good thing. The other thing that I've really dealt with is blood pressure. And I would get so nervous and anxious just looking at my blood pressure monitor that, to be honest, I'm not monitoring it because I'm doing the touch now twice a day, if possible. I have my V9 and I have my HHS, and I feel calm. I always have as long as I've had our devices, but um, I just I'm just much calmer. And with the touch, Tracy, last week you really helped because I didn't know how to use it correctly. So I literally move it around my body areas from my lungs, which I am breathing a lot better. I went to a play the other night with my young family and grandkids, and we went up all these stairs. And I mean, I'm 77 years old, so um, and I kept up to them. And I have had problems with lungs. So anyway, that was great.
I've been on the touch since January 6th. I was having a lot of problems with it in the very beginning. The main thing that was my problem was the neuropathy in the bottom of my feet. And so I struggled with it. Along the way, I forget whether it was Kira or staff who told me that this is very important, that you need to do it. She didn't care whether it was 1 minute a day or what, but you had to do it. And somewhere around that same time, Darlene told me that said, you cannot be afraid of this. You need to embrace it and do it. So I changed my mindset, and I started slowly and slowly worked my way up. And I had a couple mishaps. Oh yeah, I'm doing real good. Let me try it a little bit longer, you know? So anyway, now I do it twice a day at about 17 minutes each time. And I'm surviving with that. And the neuropathy in my bottom of my feet, I'm going to say, is now 100% gone. And I must say, I have no more pain whatsoever down there. And also, I have dermatitis in my body. I have two kinds. I have the seborrheic dermatitis, which is on my scalp, and I have eczema dermatitis, which is on my body, my arms, and my legs. And both of those are so weakened right now. I rarely even itch, or I'm still getting just a little pop up of one or two, whatever, but they go right away. And it's very rare now that I have any. But it isn't totally gone, but boy, it's in a very weakened state. This morning, I was thinking about, I don't know what got me thinking about it, was my skin was very thin. And all I had to do was rub against a door jamb or a branch in the woods or something, and I would just rip my skin back. And you could look at the skin and see that it was very thin. So January 5th was the last time that happened to my skin. And I was just thinking about that because it was almost daily or weekly that it would happen to me. But it hasn't happened now for over a month. That's fantastic for me.